What's going on, everybody? It's been a really long time since I made a video, so I'm kind of excited to jump back on here and do a new one. And what I want to talk about is Danger Room. Danger Room is a super fun mode that obviously has been out for, I don't know, a month or two now. I'm sure people are starting to get more used to it. I know I certainly have learned a lot about it in the past couple of months, particularly on my last playthrough, um, where we were. On the last run of it, which was maybe 2 weeks ago, I was able to beat difficulty 10 there, and I learned a lot about it. And really, the key things that I learned is not sort of what characters you use, but it really comes down to just sort of how to play the mode, understanding how it works, just in the most basic sense. Um, and then half of it is also gameplay too, of course, but there's a lot to learn just sort of about the rules of how it works. So you can see I have 210 yellow tokens because I just did a run. I beat difficulty 7, which was quite easy, as it should have been based on my level. Um, but, a lot of it is because I've figured out what to do. Now, the first thing I guess I should say is, what do you do with these yellow tokens that you've earned? I've got 210 of them, you can see there. So you use them to turn on these buffs that will be basically their combat modifiers that can make it way easier for you in your subsequent runs. And the first thing to understand about these tokens is you've got them forever. It doesn't just apply to your next run. So you can apply them, just kind of go in willy-nilly and apply them in ways that you think will be good for you. And then if I were to start a run and it's just not working, I just get stonewalled on a node, and then I just quit it and I go to new run, all these tokens are still available to me. The check marks will still be in the same place, and if I realize I picked the wrong mods, I just uncheck them, and I can redistribute my 210 tokens in any way I want. So you don't have to have any fear about losing these tokens or turning on the wrong mods. The mods don't get locked in, and the tokens never get used up. You always have them. So just apply them all the time once you've got them to make it as easy as possible. And then the real key to getting to doing as well as you possibly can in Danger Room is to basically just farm these yellow tokens, and then try to do like one mega run when you've got a ton of yellow tokens. Turn on almost every modifier you can, and then just go for, like I said, a huge mega run where you're going to try to beat difficulty 10 or something, or whatever you think the highest you can possibly do is. Because again, you've got these tokens forever. They're not going away. The mods don't get locked in. You can change them at any time. So in the first case, I threw on this, this X-Men buff essentially that costs 0 tokens. But let's look at what I've got available to me now with an additional 210. I mean, I think I should go and turn on these basic stat ones. I don't see why not. And then maybe the 10% speed one seems good. I don't know, let's try a difficulty 9 run. I'm going to be ambitious, going for D9. Now I'll go into the shop. So you got to do a lot of experimentation here and pick the 2 best characters, or what you think are the 2 best. I think they're going to be Emma Frost and Old Man Logan. That's what I used for my difficulty 7 run, which I just absolutely steamrolled. Now difficulty 9 is going to be way harder, of course. But I still think I'm going to probably beat it. I'm just looking through here, though. So I see Polaris. I see Jean Grey. Who the hell else is on Immortal X-Men? Polaris, Jean Grey. Isn't Beast on there? Storm. Where the hell is Storm? Oh, there's Storm. So you know what? An Immortal X-Men team could be good with that Crucible thing on. But for now, I'm just going to go with my duo that I did my last run with, which is Old Man Logan and Emma Frost. And let's see how that goes. But, there's a lot to be said for experimenting with that first sort of initial duo that you pick, because that will sort of set the foundation for the team that you're going to try to form throughout the course of the run. So you pick the 2 kind of staple characters there in the beginning. And if you were going to try to go for Immortal X-Men, I don't know, I'd probably start with like Jean Grey and Storm or Beast maybe. and then hope that you get the other characters as you go down. Here, I'm just going to hit who I think is most dangerous. I guess is Miss Marvel Classic. She's going to go down pretty easily, it looks like. I guess now let's do Lizard. Probably didn't need to use the special there, but he gets his energy back so fast that I don't really care. Also, as you go through, you'll see that there are modifiers that are really geared towards certain characters. It might not be explicitly calling out the character's name in the card, but it might be something like applying bleed, and then there might be certain characters available that apply a ton of bleeds, and so it's kind of clear that that card is going to benefit a certain character. And in general, really through a whole theme throughout all the danger rooms has been a lot of buffs geared towards stacking bleeds or giving you bonuses when enemies have bleed, things like that. And really, one of the ways I found since Danger Room came out is when you're going to go for a super deep run, one of the best ways is to try to just involve stacking up bleeds in any ways you can, and bleed modifiers and things like that. So we're going to look for that as we go through. An ultimate extended duration of all positive effects on self by 1. I don't know if I want that. On kill allies, gain offense up. I think I want that out of these 3. None of those were like insanely good cards, but they're okay, Pick the best one and just move on. But yeah, I mean, really, the goal is to just go through your runs. And you're getting these yellow tokens, by the way, for every combat node that you do. And you keep the tokens automatically, even if you stall out in the middle of the run and just quit it. Whatever tokens you've earned in that run up till then, you get those, and they'll just go into your bank, and you can add on more modifiers. So that's great. You can just go through and do sort of partial runs, even if you want, and just farm yellow tokens, build them up until you've got 1,500 or something, and turn on a ton of different stat modifiers and things, and then go through for your one giant, big mega run at the end where you're going to kind of go for it all. Trauma bonus on attack if the target has trauma. Bonus attack, I don't know. On kill, adjacent enemies gain trauma. I guess I want that. I don't know. None of those were incredible. Here's a care package. I guess I'll take it to try to get a 3-man team going. I don't really like what's being offered here. These all kind of suck. A lot of my X-Men are really weak. And so the ones like my rogue, I guess I will rent this rogue for whatever. I guess it's worth something. She can taunt. Okay. Now here's another thing I've noticed. When you complete a combat mission or an elite combat mission, you get offered a card or some sort of a bonus after the fight. You will get much better offers after the elite combat because the elite combats are much harder. So it's oftentimes after the elite combat nodes that you'll get offered like one of the crazy good modifiers, like the Carnage boon where you get, I think you get speed bar for bringing an enemy under 25%, which is incredible. That thing can snowball really quickly. It can really just become a train that's impossible to stop. That's a modifying card that I always look for. I always take it if it comes up. And if that one comes up, then that means you really have a chance at going all the way with your run because it's so helpful. And so there are key ones like that you're going to want to be on the lookout for. Now, another point about these elite combats versus regular combats. They both reward yellow tokens. The elite combats offer more. So that's another reason they're good. But also, you'll get the better cards after them, like I said. So if you're going to take an elite combat, it's going to be significantly harder. But if you're going to do it towards the beginning of the run. Because then, as far as elite combat nodes go, it will be on the easier side. The elite combats, like later on, are just getting harder because everything is ramping up. So if you're going to do an elite combat, do it in the beginning. Do it towards the beginning so that you increase your chances of getting one of those incredible stat modifying cards or just, modifier cards towards the beginning of your run where the elite combat mission will at least be relatively easy compared to what it would be if you faced it later on in the run. And that's a philosophy that I didn't develop until very recently. But I played really heavily the last run of Danger Room rather, and that really helped me out. Originally in that run, when I was going for my D10 shot at it, I was completely avoiding elite combats because I'm like, oh, they're going to be so hard. But because I was avoiding them, I wasn't getting offered the really great combat modifiers that I was used to getting. And I realized it's because they usually pop up after an elite combat as your sort of reward for getting through that elite, that difficult elite combat node. So I've been leaning into the elite combats a little bit more, but trying to do that towards the beginning of the run where things are relatively easy. So you can see this is an elite combat node, but we're just absolutely going to roll right through it. We're not even going to take damage on this, I don't think. Because I'm using Old Man Logan too, like I kind of alluded to before, I'm going to try to lean into bleed type modifiers. Here's my elite reward. Let's see what it's going to offer me. Frenzy on enemy turn. If that character has bleed, fill speed bar for all allies by 5%. This is really good. It's not as good as the Carnage boon, but it's of a similar nature. Anything that gives you speed bar is usually incredibly powerful. 5% isn't that much, but a lot of my enemies are going to have bleed. So if 3 or 4 have it, I'm getting 15 to 20% speed bar. Also, this one over here on the end, Energizing Strike, that's not bad either. On kill, generate 1 ability for self and adjacent allies. I'm going to be getting a lot of kills, and therefore a ton of ability energy, but I think I still want the speed one. All right, I could go for another elite combat, which I think I'm going to do. I'm feeling pretty confident right now. This looks much harder. I'm going to have a pretty big Kahori. There's a Captain Britain, but he's not that big. I think I'm going to do fine here, but we'll see. Some things can be deceptively difficult. The enemy sort of raw stats and power aren't always indicative of how difficult something is going to be. But let's see how this goes. All right, we're getting our ass kicked by Kahori here in the beginning. My rogue will probably die, but I really don't care about her at all. All right, and as always, I'm going with the ultimate from the special. I'm going to stun Kahori. And I can stun here with rogue too. I think, is this the one that does stun? Yeah, let's see if it sticks. It does stick on Captain Britain. So that's cool. So rogue is actually a good character now that I'm kind of thinking of it. She is a pain in the butt to face, which is always a good indication if a character is good. If you hate facing them, if they're a pain in the ass to try to beat when they're on the enemy team, that means they're good, And so you might want to try to build up your own. All right. Get the kill on Kahori. I thought we would. Not quite, though. It looks like Old Man is going to go again, though, before Kahori does. Things are under control enough that I'm not going to use up my ultimate. My God, just kill the Kahori, please. All right. Nothing much to worry about here at all now. The Medusa can do some decent damage, but I'm going to take her out. Now not much to worry about at all, I think. I guess Philovel's got defense down. We'll get the kill straight up there. Let's hit, what the hell's this dude's name? Forgetting his name, my God. Ebony Maw, my God. There are just a lot of characters in this game at this point. Okay. And we're just going through here. So you can see how easy this was. I mean, this was an elite combat node, and it was really a cakewalk. And let's see what we get offered here as our reward. King's Boon is pretty good. Basic Momentum. Special Deal. These are all good care packages offers here. King's Boon. Fill speed bar on spawn by 5%. Apply speed up. I'm going to do that because I'm just going to become a speed machine here. Let's do elite again. It's been so easy. I see no reason not to keep doing these elites. And I'm feeling more and more confident with basically my unstoppable speed bar. Okay, so you just saw that I had a character or two who had less than full health and I could have healed them. But I don't have any heals right now. In general, This reminds me of a kind of a philosophy that I take of I don't really go for heals in this mode. I find that, you know, unless one is just offered to you straight up, like sometimes there's no kind of fork in the road, you're just getting a heal and you just take it. I won't usually buy extras in those instances. I'll just take the free one. Um, but like in general, I don't spend my currency on heals because I find it's better spent on sort of modifiers that are just aimed at building up a team so insanely powerful that you'll never need to heal them. That's really a much better way to go, I think. Um, if your characters are dying, you know, you might just want to like, and you're just trying over and over and someone keeps dying. I find that it's better to just try to start a new run and hope for better luck where you can, build up, like I said, a team that's just almost unstoppable and doesn't really need to get healed because you have so many stat modifiers, so much speed going on. You're applying so many bleeds that they just can't really kill you. They might be able to take you down a little bit, but you heal up, or you're always buffed up and avoiding being heavily debuffed and things like that. So I guess in general, I would just say I find that currency is better spent on modifiers or getting key characters for that matter. Trying to build up a super powerful team that can just steamroll through everything rather than relying on, oh, hey, they might be able to kill me, but it's okay because I can heal myself back up and come in again. Probably what'll happen is they'll just kill you again, so I really would just err towards trying to get a heavily modified super team going rather than healing up your characters. Kind of, but I think I just want the special abilities to cost 4 less energy, so I'm going for that one. Um, Maybe I'll go for care package. I'll go for the left here. Let's see what it's going to offer me. Fucking just garbage characters. Ugh, that feels like absolutely the wrong move. But of course, you don't know until you try. I guess we'll do Iceman. I don't know. He applies like slow and stuff. I'm going to go for the elite combat. I don't like the team that I've got, really. Um, but I don't know. That's up to the RNG, other than the initial duo that you pick. That's why you've got to pick. You've got to pick two really good starting characters to kind of be your pillars. And you can see as I've been going through here that it really has been Old Man Logan and Emma Frost doing everything. And I guess now Emma did something, but that's just the way it goes. It's important to find a really good starting duo there because you never know what characters you're going to be able to get. And you can also see I avoided the heal there on that last kind of fork in the road that we were at. Because like I said, I don't find heals to always be super valuable. I'd rather build a mega team. So I'm going to use Emma's special here. Specials costing 4 less ability energy basically means that they can be used every turn. I mean, or maybe every 2 turns at most, depending on the character's cooldown. All right, let's see what Iceman has to offer us here. I gotta be honest, I don't really know much about his kit at all. I never play him. I, of course, have played against him many times, and I know he always slows me, so it's annoying to get slowed. So it looks like he'll hit everybody and then apply slow if it sticks, which is pretty good. All right, so I guess I don't hate having Iceman here. It's not bad. But, I mean, it's basically all Old Man Logan. All right, let's just, I don't know. I don't really think it matters what we do. People are just going to start dropping dead here, and I'm just going to hit it out to auto basic and get out of here. I mean, I'm really racking up the danger room tokens there, those yellow tokens, by doing all these elite combats. Okay, and let's see what I get offered here. So we're at node 9 right now. So this is where you kind of get, it sort of gives you a break from combat and you get like I think it's 2 or 3 nodes in a row where you just get kind of rewards and characters and modifiers. This is one of the best ones you can get, is Entry Wound. On spawn, each ally applies bleed to all enemies, and enemies cannot gain immunity. That's just incredible. And this is one of the ones that can serve as a foundation for going on like a bleed heavy run where you're just leaning into the bleed mechanic and you just go absolutely insane. Like there's another card where you can get extra damage for each enemy that has bleed. And if you start out by applying bleed to all enemies and then you get like 5 or 10% extra damage for all the enemies, that might be like 5 or 6 times 10% extra damage. It's just insane. That's another one to grab when you can. Let's just look at what else is available. We've got that same speeding ticket one, and then we've got Doom's Boon, which is a pretty good one. But you have to drop below 50% health for it to trigger, and I'd rather just focus on building a team that like almost never drops below 50% health. And then it gives you one ability energy, which isn't a ton, and it fills your speed bar by 50%, which is a lot, but it doesn't automatically guarantee a turn. So it's okay, but I don't go for it often. I only go for it if it's sort of the best out of the three, but definitely Entry Wound is the best out of these three, so I'm going for it. So yeah, now we get to go to the shop. Don't forget, in these shops, it always starts you on the character screen, but you don't have to get a character. You can click over to the cards section and look for cards that are really good, and those can often be a better way to go. So remember, you do have these two tabs, cards and characters. The characters we could get are like a Beast, a Havoc. I would definitely go for Beast in this case if I was going to take somebody. But let's look at the cards that are available, like I said. Allies cannot gain trauma. The Warlock Boon is really the best one here for sure. I'm going to take it. I've got also a ton of tokens to just spend here, of purple tokens. I could really buy all three of these. And then the characters cost 150, so I can buy a ton of stuff here. I'm going to do this one just because it might help me out. I don't really know. You have to kind of really... That one's good for like a specific case where there's a character who's been a pain in your ass because they keep getting speed bar and you want to stop them from doing it. I'm just doing it here as kind of a preemptive thing. I feel like it'll probably help me somewhere to have that going on. Not gaining trauma is that worth it to buy this? I guess I'll do it. And then you know what? Since I don't really think I have a very good team right now, I'm going to do the Beast as well. And I've still got 400 tokens to spend on the next one. Okay, so now we're going into a combat here. This doesn't look super hard. I can bring in my Beast. So now I have a 5-man team, so that's kind of cool. Is essentially what it's doing, I think. And that's good. I will, I guess, stun Lilandra. And look at the insane amount of bleed. I mean, they're basically all just going to drop dead. They're basically just going to all drop dead. I think I targeted Howard. Yeah, that's good. Next, and it just already just doesn't really matter. Oh my god, I almost froze. Okay. Yeah, this is just an auto basic. I mean, it's auto basic time already, so... And the buffs just get so insane. Sometimes the game just kind of sits there going through all of its calculations and just all of the buffs that are going on. And that's that. I mean, it's almost been so easy that it's not even interesting. And we're on difficulty 9, so let's keep on rolling through it. And if I get through this easily enough, I might just do a D10 recording here and kind of mush them together. Crippling wounds. If that target has bleed, apply defense down. So everyone will have bleed, therefore everyone will get defense down when they take their turn. Holy shit, here's the exploit weakness. Allies gain 20% damage for each enemy that has bleed. So imagine on that last node. I think there were like 8 characters when we dropped or something. So that'd be 8 times 20, 160% extra damage right out of the gate because I'm applying bleed on spawn. It's just insane. I'm basically unstoppable at this point. So I'm just going to keep doing combats. I don't really think I need any more care packages. I'm just going for combat so I can get yellow tokens and equip just an insane amount of buffs and become an unstoppable force and beat difficulty 10. Like, that's really your goal with Danger Room. And this is kind of how you do it. But it definitely takes some time to figure all that out. You know, when I was first playing it, I didn't realize even how the tokens, exactly how they worked. I definitely didn't realize that you kind of have them forever. You can equip modifiers and then unequip them at your will, and you get those tokens back. You can fail a run and your tokens don't go away. I thought if I equipped them, I have to beat that run or else I basically wasted the tokens. But that's not the case at all. So there's no risk, essentially, associated with those tokens. Once you have them forever. And you don't get locked in on any modifiers. And it's auto basic time again. Like, let's just get through this as fast as we can. I don't know if they made this round of Danger Room easier and easier. I feel like the rounds have been easier and easier. It was definitely like kind of difficult the first time until you learned how to play it. But so maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just that I know how to play it now. But definitely, like, the initial run was super up and down, very RNG heavy. There were some super annoying nodes, like just infuriatingly difficult in a way that was frustrating in the first round. 3 counter on special bonus attack primary target on turn clear negative effects. I kind of like this one, I guess. Am I brave enough to go for an elite combat this late? I think I am. And this doesn't look hard. All right, let's just go through here. Probably should have stunned the Void Knight, actually. He might make this somewhat difficult if he gets a turn. I don't think he's going to get one, though. Oh, he dodged. He dodged again. Okay. But it doesn't matter. Okay, I think we just cleared out the whole room now. Yeah, and we're just rolling through it. I just really want to get to the end already because it's just so easy at this point. It's really not making for any interesting footage. And Carnage dropped dead from all the bleeds, and we're on to the next node. Another 50 tokens. Okay, let's see what we get offered. Mysterio's boon on ally basic, clone that ally. This can only happen once. So you want to be careful with that one and use the first time you use a basic, you want to make sure that's the person you want to clone. But that's a super good... that can be a super powerful modifier. Brickhouse is good too. I mean, it's armor and resistance. It's a significant amount. Even Energizing Strike is good. So when you start going through these kind of elite missions sort of midway through, you're getting offered better things, it feels like. I don't know if that's a rule. I guess they get a little better as you go through. On kill, generate one ability. That's really good. But I feel like I don't need any more ability energy than what I'm already getting. Okay, here's an Odin. Now, things could get really difficult really fast. Let's see how this goes. I'm trying to think about what's going to happen here. I don't know. I guess we'll see. It's all about the turn order. And if I can get enough damage and bleed stacked up on that Odin before he gets to kind of get rolling. Now, I didn't see if there's like a pre-taunt in here or anything. Doesn't look like it. So I'm going to get to go after this Odin right away. I'm going to go for the maximum damage I can do. Okay, yeah, I'm going to take a bunch of turns before anyone else does. So I think we're going to crush this Odin easily before he can do anything. And this match is over. So there you go. Odin and APOC, and it was absolutely nothing. I mean, we dealt with it with ease. Pretty much, it was auto basic after Odin got God knows how many bleeds put on him. He never had a shot at doing anything. Okay, we will get yet another really good modifier offered to us. Here's the Thing is a pretty good modifier because you counter it. It's basically a really powerful counterattack. And I think I'm going to pick it because I just want to get a team that's like maximum offense now. I don't really think I need any more defensive stuff. I just want to pick things that are going to get me through these nodes as fast as possible because I'm feeling quite confident. And at this point, I can say, this is my second run. Like I said, my first run was I cleared D7 like in no time. It was very easy. And I used the same starting duo of Old Man Logan and Emma Frost. So I can say that those have been very good choices for me so far. Not saying they're the best. I could see an Immortal X-Men build out doing pretty well as well. Especially maybe in D10 if you build up a ton of coins and turn on that Crucible modifier where all the Crucible abilities turn on. That could be crazy powerful. I might experiment with that one later on down the line. But I still think I'm a pretty far ways away from getting enough tokens to do that. That's one of those 1,500 token ones. All right. We should be pretty close to the end here. I forget what number of node we're on. Probably 16 or something like that at this point. And this feels like it has taken a while, even though it's been so easy. Maybe that's just because I'm talking over everything. On ultimate, extend positive effects by 1. That's kind of good. On attack, I don't know. I don't really think any of these are that great. An elite combat. All right, screw it. Let's do an elite combat. It's another Odin APOC node. No reason to really worry about this, I guess. Given how the last one went, I think this is going to be roughly the same. Was there a null here? I feel like I saw a null in that lineup, but maybe I'm going crazy. Yeah, there is a null. I don't know if that's going to change things at all. It's really all about your ability to target Odin early. And if you can do that, it's all about stacking up that damage before I can do anything. So let's hit everybody here with a little bit of damage. And Odin's already a non-factor, and that was insane. I think that was even faster than the first one. So it's those bleed modifiers, man. I think that's what's really doing it. And the fact that Old Man Logan is just an absolute beast. Emma is excellent too. Yeah, entry wound, applying bleed on spawn, and then exploit weakness, I think it is, which gives you a damage modifier per enemy that has bleed. That's just insane. Okay, some other good cards to talk about here, though. Is Sinister's Boon. So on ally, ultimate clone the enemy with highest damage. This is excellent because if when there's an Odin around or a Mephisto, you're going to clone them. And now you've got an Odin or a Mephisto on your team. So that's incredible. That'll probably, I'm guessing, will clone Professor X in this particular case because he's obviously the big bad boss of this one. So here we're going up against a Mephisto for the first time, so that's cool. We'll get to see how that plays out. All right, so yeah, here we are staring at Mephisto. Let's see what he does. Um, there was a modifier last time where it prevented enemies from gaining empowered, and that really helped you get through Mephisto. So that's another one where it's sort of like you got to look out for cards and modifiers that basically target specific enemies. And if you're really going through this, I've noticed, and having a ton of trouble, you'll probably find there's a card or a modifier they've made available somewhere that really can help you get through that node. Like it goes from feeling impossible, and then you kind of discover a modifier that can totally kind of undermine whatever has been happening to you. And then you're like, oh, that's what I was supposed to do. That's how you get through this. It can sort of go from seeming impossible to significantly easier with the right modifier. And so Mephisto getting empowered was a big problem in the last one. I don't know if there's an equivalent thing going on this time. But anyway, just the point there is that some of these nodes will feel impossible until you kind of figure out the right strategy. Let's hit everybody with max damage. I think this is going to get through a lot of people. Probably will kill the Mephisto. I don't think he has death proof or anything. Yeah, we took him down. So basically, we just went so fast because of that Kang, the Kang's Boon card, and the other speed modifier that I think we got really early on. I can't even remember what it was anymore. I got a speed modifier that had something about gaining 5% speed, but I don't know what the condition was. I'm already forgetting what it was. And maybe that's a good time to say another thing which I've learned is that sometimes I actually, as I'm going through, forget what modifiers I have active because they just start to stack up and there's such a huge number of different things going on that I really can forget like what all I've turned on. And so it's a good idea to kind of refresh your memory on that and maybe do things differently. Like maybe you should be basicing instead of using an ultimate because you've turned on a modifier that gives you like something on basic. I don't remember any specifics offhand, but I know they're out there. So always remind yourself what modifiers you have turned on and how you can best take advantage of them. And it's not always to just like use your ultimate when it's available. Or maybe you target a character who's not a big threat, but you can get the kill because you have some modifier that triggers something on kill. And so it's better to take out like some minion and get the kill on them rather than, go for the powerful character who seems like a bigger threat. So things like that can definitely happen. And it's really easy to forget all the modifiers that you're working on. So after this battle's over, I'm going to go and refresh my memory of what all I have actually turned on because I have forgotten at least a couple of them. All right. Taking a while here. They got really buffed up. But I was never anywhere close to dying, so that's the important thing. Okay, finally. Alrighty, so we got through it. Let's go, victory. Okay. And it's just like, regular, the scourges that we're used to, where you can just go over here on the side and click this little sidebar thing and look at what you've turned on. So we've got entry wound. On kill, everyone gets trauma, so I totally forgot I had that turned on. There's the 20% damage for bleed. Here's the one I forgot about. When an enemy character takes a turn, if they have bleed, they fill my speed bar. Okay, so I don't need to do anything to activate that one other than apply bleed. And then, okay, so that was the one I forgot about, that 5% speed bar, but basically the enemy triggers that one for me. Okay, so now I'm probably just going to take this damage buff. I'm just going to take the damage buff. I just kind of like that one. It's very straightforward and makes me feel like I have a much better chance of winning. So, gonna do that. We're facing Mephisto again. And, yeah, that last Mephisto node did take forever. But again, we came nowhere close to dying. All right, here we are. So this time we do have a gladiator, which is going to be a pain in the ass because he is gonna obviously taunt like he already has. So that Mephisto is going to stick around for maybe a little longer than I'd like. And oh my goodness. So I'm having a graphical issue here, but I did lose. Who the hell did I lose? I lost Rogue and whoever the hell else was over there. Marty, I don't even know who the heck else I had. Iceman. Yeah, I don't really care about Iceman. Beast, Emma, and Old Man are really who matters here. So it's glitching out to where it doesn't show the attack animations. It just shows kind of the result. But that's not a big deal to me. Kind of just makes everything go super fast. I almost kind of like when this happens. But if you're wondering what the hell's going on, that's what the issue is. Okay. Now I don't have heals though, so yeah, and Mephisto hit me pretty hard, so I'm gonna want to. I think I want to back out because I have no way to heal myself. So I'm gonna quit that. And how can I make that go differently? I'm not sure. But Danger Room can go from very easy to very hard really fast. And that's what you're seeing here. Now, I assumed that was going to be so easy that I'd paid basically no attention to what I was doing. So let's see if I need to do something differently here. And trying to think. So I guess we start out stuck behind a gladiator, right? And then what did I do? So we have 2 exhausted, which is a big problem. I think I still want the ultimate, right? Like, there's no reason not to do that. I think. So the thing is, it's Mephisto having that 2 death proof is scary because. Okay. Alright, this might kill him. No. I'm going to do this one again. Why? It really is annoying, actually, this glitch, because I'm just not able to see what the hell's going on. Yeah, I guess it's Mephisto's ultimate is happening. Or something. I mean, my health is being reduced a lot. Alright, let's just go back in. And I don't know, hope for better RNG, hope to get the kill. Mephisto is very close to dying. I don't know if they do the Old Man Logan special, will that make something different? If that's going to cause all the dominoes to fall a different way, in a way that's good, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure the ultimate is doing more damage. So it's doing 550 plus 100% drain. And this one's going to do 420 chain. I'm going to just go ahead and do this and see how this makes the battle play out differently. They've all got safeguard too, which sucks. I guess I should do this. Boom. Okay, well, we're looking better so far. I guess gain 2 to 3, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do the special again. I don't know. It just felt like it was better the first time. Like I'm doing insanely better right now. Should I have done the ultimate? Did I have the ultimate? I don't remember. Primary and adjacents. This attacks only the primary. So I want to do that. But he's got so many death proofs on that Mephisto. This is getting dangerous. Like I can't let him stick around forever. At least I'm seeing the animations now. It's actually pretty helpful. Why is he like... Why are the death proofs still there? He's been on like one tiny pixel of health forever. Why is it not getting better? Alright, I finally took away one death proof, but like... Okay, man, I don't get it. Like, I'm not getting what is going on in this battle. All right. Okay, I will keep this. Okay, we're going to keep it. I'm going to keep it. I've got my 3 key characters. Can probably find a heal somewhere to bring back the others if I even need them. All right, thank God. So the special did something favorable for me. And I'm just going to keep specialing because I basically have unlimited specials with the modifier that I got. Oh, man. Okay, that was difficult, though. Mephisto, man, he's quite tough. And I'm getting all these exhausted stacking up on my characters. Or maybe I do want to put in some defensive buffs now just to kind of counteract the exhausted, if you will. Because that is basically, if I remember correctly, just lowering your basic stats by a certain amount. Crippling wounds if that enemy has bleed, apply defense down, 3 regeneration, offense up. Okay, what do I want to do? I guess regeneration. I don't know. I could go to the shop or I could go for some heals. Is it worth healing my characters? I could go to the shop. Oh man, this is a tough call here. I think at this point, now that it's feeling a little difficult, kind of feel like going for the heals, but I don't know. I could go if the shop is like so RNG, like you just don't know what's going to be in there. But I think I'm going to stick to my philosophy of trying to build up a really powerful team. And I'm going to go to the shop. Now, I'm not real happy with the characters here. I would go for Nightcrawler if anyone. I do have a shitload of coins, so I can basically buy everything here. I'm definitely going for Carnage Boon. That is one of the best available ones. When they drop below 25% health, you will get 20%. That's incredible. Basic Momentum is a good one. That's kind of, I don't know, I could talk for a few minutes about that one, actually. I have kind of mixed feelings about it. But I mean, I guess it doesn't do any harm to take that right now. On kill, generate 1 ability energy. I mean, I can take everything here, right? With no risk of running out. Yes, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to take Nightcrawler and probably replace, I don't know. Holy shit, I'm running low on battery. I can replace probably Iceman with Nightcrawler. And let's see, I'm pretty sure I don't have any heals, right? No, I don't. All right, that's okay. Means I kind of have to take out Rogue. And yeah, I guess I'm going to stick with this and just have. Maybe I want it like this. I maybe just keep Emma Frost kind of over there isolated. Um, I don't know. Maybe that'll help her survivability a little bit. And let's go see how this goes. Now, in my first playthrough of the final node, I was able to stun Professor X after a couple turns. Maybe I kind of lapped the enemy team because of my speed buffs, and I got able to stun him with Old Man Logan, I think. And that's pretty much how I won. I think if he had gotten a turn, he would have basically kicked my ass. But let's see how it plays out this time. So I'm gonna do the special again. I think that worked really well on that other node where I had difficulty, so I'm gonna do it again. But Gladiator is there taunting. Such a good tank. He's very annoying. I guess I'll do the special with Nightcrawler. It looks like Professor X is going to get to go. We'll see if he just completely demolishes me or what. I'm going to buff myself up here a lot here with Beast. And I cloned the enemy Lilandra. I think it's basically over because Professor X got to go. Didn't I just hit? Okay, there we go. All right, so getting out of there. Definitely wasn't going to beat that. What are, well, now let's look into the buffs. All right, let's go again. I'm going to do it a little differently this time. I'm definitely going to probably go with the ultimate. I'm going to do this differently. I'm going to go with the ultimate of Old Man Logan first. See what that does for me. Okay, still. It's always going to be this Gladiator, though. That's not going away. If I can get somebody under 25% health, then I will get speed. So it looks like I got the one Old Man Logan under 25. And since I used the ultimate, I cloned Professor X. I'm so stupid. See, I forgot my own advice, which is to remember the buffs you have on. So since I used the ultimate, and I have that card on ultimate, clone the primary target, I think is what it is. So we just got our own Professor X. Now that could change everything. That could change everything. Well, their X is going to get to go before mine, though, for sure. But interesting. Oh, fuck. There's already another goddamn Gladiator. And he got summoned by the stupid Lilandra, didn't he? Is that what happened? Because if that Gladiator didn't exist, then I could have gone after Professor X and stunned him with Nightcrawler right there. So if this doesn't work out, maybe that's what I'm going to do next time. Okay, but I did get people under 25% there with that attack, which is going to allow me to now... What's it going to allow? Nothing. Shit. Okay. So X did get to go, but maybe I'm deep enough into this that I can actually still win it. I don't know. We'll see. Old Man Logan might kind of be able to 1v1 this. He summoned a Cyclops, which I don't like. Okay, come on, dude. All right, I think I might be good here because this should stun him. And we push him below 25. I'm going to get some speed bar coming back. Nice. So it's over. So basically, the key there was taking advantage of the buff that where I get speed bar from knocking people under 25%. And then also, even prior to that, I had the buff which lets you clone the enemy with the highest attack, I believe. And then I used my Old Man Logan's ultimate right out of the gate, which triggered the clone of Professor X. But I don't know, maybe that wasn't even that key because I think that he just ended up dying. I don't even remember using him. So really, it was again, there was the speed stat modifiers because I was knocking people under 25% health and getting speed bar as a result of that. And there was a case there with Beast where I could have used a different attack, but I used the attack which hits all the enemies because there were a couple enemies out there on the fringes that were at like 40% health. So Beast's attack hit them, knocked them under 25. I got a bunch of speed bar from that and was able to get another turn on that Professor X. So really speed kills when it comes to Danger Room, and you want to stack up those speed modifiers and bleed modifiers. Those are the key ones. And based on my 2 runs, Old Man Logan and Emma Frost are an incredible starting duo. Those are my basic recommendations. Now I've got 500 additional yellow tokens to turn on even more modifiers. Now I can turn on caffeinated. Allies cannot gain exhausted. So imagine doing all that, but I don't have those 2 exhausteds on me that I did have just now. Imagine how much more powerful I would be. So that's probably the one I'm going for next. But like I said, I could take any number of these off and redistribute these as I want. So don't be afraid to use these as soon as you get them. You can redistribute them any way you want, and you never lose them. That's a key to doing well in Danger Room. Hopefully you get some good tips from this video, and have fun in Danger Room. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Like and subscribe.